I nearly missed my cue then. I was busy doing something. Good morning, boys and girls. It's Monday the 11th of March, 2019. Welcome along to this morning's United Kingdom tour, coming to you from Bracknell here in Royal Berkshire, where the sun is out. Oh yes, the sun has got its hat on. Hip, hip, hip. Do you know, it's months since I was able to sing that, dear. Hip, 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 hooray, the sun has got it. There's an early song especially for Joanna. Is she with us yet? Yes, she is. I'm so glad you didn't miss it, Joanna. I think in future, Joanna loves my singing. She is the biggest fan of my singing voice. And she usually thinks the song is going to come at the end. I'm going to start throwing in little songs randomly now, Joanna, so that you don't get a chance to put your earplugs in, my darling. They're just random songs throughout the show at all times, dear. That's the way to lose another listener. It's so nice out there. And I was doing just not too much gardening, just having a little look around the garden yesterday. And I thought, oh, it looks really messy. And then I had another look. And I thought, well, it doesn't look messy. It's just the garden after winter. Do you know what I mean? Well, you haven't gone out there and mowed the grass or cleared up. We have needles, a lot of needles around here because they're all pine trees. So there's dead needles all over the grass. And you're kind of waiting for it to get a bit warmer. And I'm starting to see little buds. Buds are blooming everywhere. Well, they're not blooming yet, but they're there. They're there, and some of them have started to open. It's like the green... I'm like a bud here, aren't I? I'm like a bud opening myself every morning for you. Just opening and spreading the green shoots of recovery into Bracknell. Bracknell were very lucky to have me, you know. They couldn't believe their luck when I moved here 26 years ago. And now it's the same thing is happening in Lincolnshire. You know, I get just to the border between Peterborough and... Now, where is it? I can't remember where the border is. Just the border of Lincolnshire to whatever the county is before there. And as I get there, these lights come on, like fairy lights. And a red carpet rolls along the ground, usually at about 1 o'clock on a Monday morning when I go up there, when I am going up there, not at the moment, that is. And I just drive over the red car, and people are there, 1 o'clock in the morning, waving. They're so lucky to have me in Lincolnshire. That is true. That is a true fact. Anyway, I came across this on Facebook this morning. Now, where is it now? Let me see if I can find this now. Oh, that's the wrong bit of paper. That's yesterday's one. Hang on a minute. That's Friday's. Hang on a minute. What have I done with the paper here? Where is it? Here we are. On Facebook this morning, one of my friends, Jamie, he reposted this. I want you to listen to this very, very carefully, boys and girls, because this may well help the way that... I'll come to your messages in a moment. Thank you for your messages. I'll just come to those in a moment. This may well help the way you live. Okay? There are a lot of people out there on a bit of a health trip. I have been for years. I go swimming every day. I generally walk to and from the swimming pool. I go cycling. I'm vegetarian. I like to think I eat well. Incidentally, weighed myself this morning. Now, what have I been saying the last few days? It's not really moving, is it? You know, I've been good on the... Because it's Lent now. So Lent also, by default, is assisting me with Slimming World. Because I've cut out the bread, the cakes, the chocolate and the sweets. There's nothing to eat, dear. Nothing to eat. Dust. Dust. It does say in the Bible that we are allowed to eat dust. So I'm on this light thing. I'm usually on that anyway, though. Weighed myself this morning. 13.02. Just a tiny bit above 13 stone. I'd love to be below 13 stone before I go off to Cyprus on Saturday. Do you think it's possible? I think that's going to happen. As you know, it's been kind of hanging around. It's going to be a 13.2, 13.3, even got up to 13.4. I think that was during the week. And it wasn't moving, even though I was on the thing. And I said to you yesterday, usually this is what happens. You know, you go up and down, and then you'll suddenly have a drop. So I've suddenly had a drop of about 3 pounds in a day. Fantastic. Thank you very much. We're down just a little bit above 13 now. Ideal weight 12. It's only a stone away. Much achievable, yes. Is the echo on? I've just noticed that. Was I echoing a bit then? I might have been echoing a bit then. Anyway, so listen. I might help you decide how to... It's up to you. How to live your lives. I saw this post on Facebook, and it's quite serious. Are you ready? We don't usually do serious on this programme. Here it is. If you eat well, get good sleep, exercise, and drink plenty of water, guess what? You'll die anyway. And I thought that was excellent what someone posted this morning. If you eat well, get good sleep, exercise, and drink plenty of water, you'll die anyway. So what's the point? Go on, go and have your cream cakes and your bags of crisps. Don't be worried about running around a field or anything like that. You know, going on a marathon. You just sit there, turn on the telly, and liken yourself to Gemma Collins. I don't think she does an awful lot of exercise. We have Gemma. This is becoming the Gemma Collins news show. I think she should be, grateful for me to mentioning her so much on this programme. Remember, gang, all publicity is good publicity, whether good or bad. That is a true fact. All publicity is good publicity. And she should be thanking me, sending me some of her millions, I reckon. Gemma Collins news coming up on this programme. Meanwhile, it's time for your very, very important messages. Here we go, gang. A very good morning to Evan. Oh, hang on. Let me see if that's the first message in this morning. Is it Evan, the first message in this morning? Good morning, Evan. Where have you been? You've been hiding, Evan. You're not stuck inside one of your telescopes, are you? Good morning, Evan, who's down there in Cornwall. Katie Ann Patterson is there. Good morning to our lovely Claire, who enjoyed the radio jingles on the Saturday show. Yes, I got quite a few of those. I like jingles. I like sung jingles. There was a company in America, actually, called PAMS. P-A-M-S. PAMS jingles. And they did the best jingles. They were all sung and happy and all like that. That's what radio is about. Or it should be about. Happy. I got to be honest, this morning, I keep seeing adverts for Capital Radio. Roman Kemp. Roman Kemp, who I think he's the son of the Spandau Ballet bloke. Okay, so Roman Kemp. Usual young DJ, pretty boy image, a little bit like myself, to be honest. Little pretty boy image, a little bit similar to myself. I thought I'll give him a little go this morning. And I put it on, and I thought it was quite good, the way it was all thrown together and that. But he don't talk much. I think I joined it, I was only there about 15 minutes. I joined it about 10 to 9. He did a link. A link is the little bit that they talk in between the records. That's called a link, okay? So he did a link. Then the news came on and he said something else. And then they played about 4 records and he didn't say anything. I thought, I'm waiting to be entertained here. So there wasn't much entertainment going on. But he sounded all right. Roman Kemp on Capital Radio. Anyone heard him? And I heard 2 new records, which I quite liked. Perhaps I should go into DJing. I quite like the 2 new records. Have they got rid of that ghastly R&B that they've been playing now for 10 years? Has that gone? Have we moved back on to sort of poppy housey music? I like poppy housey music. I really do. Good morning, Claire. Dr. SOS Gregorian, good morning to you. Evan's had a knee replacement. Oh, did you tell us about that earlier? He's had a knee replacement, which has been a success. Back on the road again. Excellent. Pain-free. Well done, Evan. Well done with your knee replacement there, sir. Gustav, good morning. Darling Chrissy, I was in the pub with Ugly Dave. Ugly Dave is a very, very good friend of mine. And I'm convinced I will get with him one day, and he will become my other half, I'm sure. At the moment, he's a straight boy, or he proclaims to be a straight boy. I'm sure he is. He's a straight boy at the moment. I say boy, I think he's about 31, 32 sort of age, something like that. And I'm sure I will end up with him at some point. But anyway, darling Chrissy, he was in the pub with Ugly Dave till 7 o'clock talking about me. Let's be honest, I am the most interesting thing in London. That's probably why, Gustav. I hope it was all bad things. And I met Ugly Dave in Belushi's in Hammersmith, where I had quite a few years of very enjoyable employment there as one of their DJs and the karaoke bloke, yeah. Michael Pullman, good morning. Tanya's there. Hello, Tanya. Joanna, there she is. Lovely Joanna, just in time for that first song this morning. What was it? Love is in the air. Everywhere I look around. There we are. You see? I'm just going to throw songs in randomly now to catch you unaware, Joanna. Morning to Ray Reynolds. Ray's in the house. Morning, Ray. I'm matching my blue orchids today with this. Thank you very much. Because it was sunny out, I'm all blue today. I wasn't quite sure how the dark and light blue would go together, but I think it's gone quite well there. Morning to Adam the plumber. Dominic Kiesler. Morning, Dominic. Yes, there we are, the reverb on the radio. I did have the reverb on slightly like that. It wasn't on that bad. That wasn't on that bad. I had that slightly on like that. It does make a difference. It's slightly on now. Can you hear? There's a slight echo. I add to it, actually. I quite like that. Morning to lovely Colin. Did you go dancing, Colin, or did you go out Saturday night? I hope you had a nice time. Hello to Clarissa. Clarissa, you lovely creature. Good morning to you. Katie, does that happen to you too? Red carpet treatment? All the time, Katie. I get it all the time. All the time. It's very embarrassing. If I'm at a venue or I'm going somewhere and Gemma Collins comes as well, she hates it because all the cameras come around me. She really, really hates it. Gemma Collins news coming up shortly, boys and girls. Dominique says it's freezing rain and hail here. A mess. We had that yesterday. And actually, when I'd been out somewhere in the car, where I'd been? Church. I'd come back from church. And this hail's coming down. Now, you see this bit here on my head where there's no hair, right? If I go out in the hail, it really hurts my head. There's nothing protected. It really hurts my head when hail comes down. And I had to get out of the car and run back to the house while that was happening. Morning to Mr. SOS Gregorian. Good morrow to you. Katie watched a YouTube video of Gemma Collins today. She's a big girl. Well, she is, yes. Yes, that's neither here. Actually, you know me. That's neither here nor there. I don't care what people look like. It's just, if they're talentless, I'm sorry, you're there to be laid into. That's it. Morning to Mark Kepner. Morning. The gun crime is getting stupid now. We haven't got much gun crime here, actually. Funnily enough, I saw a bloke on the telly this morning. They were interviewing a bloke. Was rather unusually, I switched over to Good Morning Britain or whatever it's called with that Piers Morgan. And he was interviewing a bloke. I can't remember his name now, but he was from London. And he goes around collecting knives. But he was the age of the sort of person that you would expect to carry a knife. But he goes around collecting knives from people. Yeah. He was very good, actually. Very, very good. I was very, very impressed with what I saw there. And one of the things Piers Morgan asked him is, why do you think there's so much knife crime in London? And his answer was, because people can't buy guns. Blimey, thank God for that. Dear me, thank God for that. You just imagine if you could buy a gun here, that knife crime wouldn't be knife crime now. You know, I don't want to make light of this, right? But at least with a knife, you can kind of only stab one person at a time. Do you know what I mean? One of those guns, bang, 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 bang. You'd have 8 dead in the space of a second. You know, so I think that's a very good thing not to have a gun. Guns are for sale in this country unless you've got special licenses and things like that. But this boy on there, he was, well, I said, no, not boy, young man. He was about 25. Difficult to work out his age, actually. He was about 25 to 30, somewhere like that. And he does good work going around and trying to take knives off people. And there was a photo of him with this great big bloody thing, honestly, dear. So he does good work. Very good indeed, the interview there. I don't know if you can see that on Good Morning Britain. Is there a catch-up thing for that one? It might be. It'd be worth watching that. Very, very good. Maybe I've got his name on here. I started following his Instagram thing. Where is it now? How would I... that's it. On Instagram, there he is. There's his name. Let me find his name for you. And you can look him up. But he does good work trying to get knives off people. Oh, Christ, I can't see that. Writing so small. Just a minute. I can't see a thing. Oh, there we are. Official Faz. OFFICIALFAZ. That's his Instagram thing. I can't remember what his name was. His name actually Faz? Maybe. There's a picture of him playing with his dog there. Bless his heart. No. I can't see his actual name there, but he was on Good Morning Britain. I think he's in one of the newspapers as well this morning. So have a look at that. All right, and he does very good work there. Michelle White's there. Good morning, Michelle. I wondered where you'd got to, dear. I was very concerned. We haven't seen you for a little while. Good morning, Michelle. Michelle is owner of Waitrose. She's closing a few shops, aren't you, at the moment, my darling? She's closing half a dozen shops or so all over the country where they're not working so well. But that happens, you know. You can open a McDonald's. I think, didn't McDonald's fail on Barbados? Am I right in saying that? I'm sure there was one. It's the only country McDonald's has failed. I think it might be Barbados, and they closed it eventually. Not everything works everywhere, you see. That's the thing. Morning to Bim. Morning to Bim, who is in Nepal this morning. Morning to you. Gustav, Dave is all yours. He was wearing the most dreadful England football team pants. Not a good look at all. Don't you say that about my Dave. Don't you speak about my ugly Dave like that, Gustav. You will be punished, dear. You will be. Good morning to Brian James, who's just done 1 hour of singing practice and 1 hour of clarinet practice. How dedicated is that? I like the clarinet. What's that song? Do 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 do. Is my humming better than my singing, Joanna? Do 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 do. And then it goes high. Ba 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 ba. Oh, it's beautiful, the clarinet. Stranger on the shore, stranger shores, dusty shores, something like that. Akabilk, that's it. Are you Akabilk really in a new life? Brian is the new Akabilk of United Kingdom Talk. Absolutely. Clarissa, we had white lightning, hailstones and snow. We had a bit of lightning last night, actually. Not too much, actually. Just a little flash here and there. Gustav has been on the white lightning as well. Well, surprise, surprise, dear. So you're always on the drink, dear. Gustav, I've got to tell you, be careful what you say to Gustav, who's watching on Facebook. Be very, very careful, because he is drunk most of the time. Be very careful. Evan, knee replacement a success. Back on the road again. Oh, I've read that already, haven't I? Sorry, Gustav. I'm repeating myself. Like ITV, really, aren't I? So there we are. That's Gustav there. One moment. That's twice my glasses have fallen off now. Never mind. I must pack my bag for Cyprus. I haven't done that yet. I was going to do that last night, but I kind of got waylaid into doing other things yesterday. The lady at church yesterday, I went to church after the show yesterday morning. Sat in the seat at the front there. I wasn't playing the organ yesterday, and so when it finished, I was going out the door, and this lady tapped me on the shoulder. She says, "Oh, you weren't playing this morning, were you?" I said, "No, I wasn't." She said, "Oh, I like it when you play. It's like being in Westminster Cathedral." Because when I play the organ, believe me, it's loud. No point in playing. No, pull all those not stops, they're buttons. I push all the buttons down. It's really loud. Really loud. I do believe in being able to hear an instrument, dear. You know, I was never any good at the recorder. It was so quiet. That one, Farah Jacker. That's everyone knows how to play Farah Jacker on the recorder, don't they? Ray Reynolds, did you play the recorder at school? Or have you always been like a string man, you know, on the old ukulele? Have you ever played the recorder or any wind instruments? You've got to do your lips in a funny way, haven't you? With those reeds. Or blowing a trumpet. What's it like blowing a trumpet? That looks difficult to me. Does it damage your lips playing a trumpet? Perhaps you have to put that Vaseline on there or something like that. Good morning to Vecthelion. Vecthelion. That's a blooming good name, Vecthelion. Well done. Good morning to JP. Joining us this morning. Craig McKenzie. Anyone selling a new spine? Mine's playing up again. Oh, you want to get a boy to run up and down it? Book into one of those not saunas, you know, what's that? What's that called? Massage. Book into a massage parlour. Get a nice Thai lady or boy running up and down your spack and kicking the hell out of you. Apparently it does you good to have all that done. My mate last night, he was showing us a video of someone who had their back cracked. Oh, it was horrible. So this bloke's laying down like this, and there's another bloke kind of with an elbow on there and a leg on there, and he's kind of getting this bloke into position. He's moving him, and suddenly he goes, look, and it goes, crack! It can't be good, surely, doing all that. To realign your back. I mean, I don't know where you'd find someone like that. One would assume, you see, the thing is, with something like that, one would assume you could do terrible damage if you did it the wrong way. Couldn't you? I mean, has there been cases of that? When I had my hair cut down at Max in Wokingham last week, I had a minor massage, not on my back, on my fingers. Like, I'm sitting there, I've got the hot towel on me like that. I look like Edith Piaf with the hot towel like that. I've just had my hair cut. I've been sprayed with lemon stuff, and he said, okay, let me have your hand. Just relax, relax. And he was going, he was pulling my fingers out. I thought it was some sort of strange thing that was about to happen to me. Very, very scary. It was scary. Clarissa, my fellow's just had a hand signed Les Paul Fender guitar given to him by his mum. I don't really know anything about string instruments, unfortunately. Presumably that's a popular good guitar, is it? I know my other friend Ben Parker, he does karaoke. Lovely man. Oh, such a nice person. He's got a collection of guitars, as has someone else I know. Who else has? Someone else I know has got a collection of guitars. I mean, how many guitars do you want? I've only got one piano downstairs. I am considering buying a proper organ, with pedals. You can get them off eBay, like dirt cheap sometimes, like 50 quid. But you have to go round and get them. Don't know how easy that would be. Gustav, black, Russian, white, Indian, purple, African. I'll drink anything. Yeah, I think we know that, Gustav. Do you ever buy your own drinks, Gustav, or are you one of those people that goes around and when people disappear to the toilet, you grab their drink and make a run for it? Morning to Martin Edwards. Ray didn't play the recorder, but I did have a guitar, keyboard and ukulele. So you play the keyboard as well, Ray? Do you play by ear? I would assume you play by ear, don't you? Because there's no music. When Ray plays the ukulele and his friend Johnny Key, another lovely person. Johnny Key. He's not with us this morning. Sometimes he's there. He's not with us today. But he's such a nice person. They don't have music in front of them. They play by ear. Same as myself on the church organ. Clarissa, you sound just like our friend James Dean. James, is he still working, dear? James Dean? I gave up with him. Afraid I gave up with him. I got fed up ringing up and not getting return phone calls, so he went off my mobile phone, along with several other people this year. I'm sick to death of sitting there trying to keep in contact with people, and they're too busy. They're too busy to bother contacting you. So there were several people who went off my mobile phone this year, and he's one of them. I'm sorry. If you're so bloody important you can't be bothered to pick up the phone to a friend anymore, then I don't want to know. That's it. John Mercer. I know John Mercer as well, yes. Back and crack. No, that's the pulling of the tape thing, John. I would imagine John, are you one of those people who's covered in hairs? Oh, no, I can't be doing with that. Men with hairs on their back. Oh, no, dear. If I wanted a gorilla, I'd go out with one. Oh, talking of gorillas, there's a story here. Can I read you? That links nicely into this, actually. This is in the Daily Mail this morning. A photographer has captured an image of an alpha male silverback. Gemma Collins is not an alpha male silverback. I just want to point that out. Someone was asking me the other day, was Gemma Collins actually a gorilla in a past life? No, she's not. It's this life she's a gorilla in, not a past one. A photographer has captured an image of an alpha male silverback gorilla posing candidly after 10 painstaking years of trying. You see, you got to be patient. It's like these people that go out and do their gardens. They plant something. The next day they're out there. Oh, it hasn't grown yet. No, takes months, dear. Patience. People haven't got patience anymore, have they? It took him 10 minutes before his subject merely scratched himself and then left. David Yarrow from Edinburgh in Scotland. Photographers have to be incredibly patient, especially, I suppose, you can imagine a patient trying to... Do you know, every morning this bloke rings. I've had enough of this. He's going to get blocked. Why does he do this? Every blooming morning this bloke rings. right? And he's on Facebook. Had enough of that. 1 minute. Not going to do it anymore. There we are. Block. Gone. Won't be able to do that again. Oh, it's so annoying. He's trying to do a show and every morning this one rings. I don't know. Never even seen him before. Now, where was I? Oh, yes. Photographers, they've got to be incredibly patient, especially, say, for example, doing children. Children must be incredibly difficult sometimes to photograph, especially before the point in their lives that they realise they're having a photo taken, if you see what I mean. You know what children are like. They muck around and they play and all that, and that's fine. But to be a photographer for something like that, you've got to be incredibly patient. Well, this bloke was. Good luck to him. Well done. He's from Scotland. He'd travelled to Rwanda 7 times in the past decade and trekked the equivalent of 77,000 kilometres. No, I don't know what a kilometre. What's kilometre? What's that? Can we have miles, please, Daily Mail? Are you pro-Brexit or not? You know, can we have miles? 77,000 kilometres, all in a bid to capture the endangered mountain gorilla in its natural habitat. The bloke had seen the wild beast through the bushes in the past, but could never get a clear shot. I wanted to get a proper image of a big alpha male. Well, could you take a photo of me? I'm like a big alpha male, aren't I? Don't you think? I am a big alpha male. But it needed to be a portrait with a sense of place, he told the Times. He set off from the village of Bissate with his guide and porters at around 7:30 a.m. on a Wednesday. It quickly dawned on him why I was alone. This was going to be one hell of a climb, and we're already at 9,000 feet. Oh, we might be breathless up there. Because you run out of air as you go up, don't you? You'd be like that as you go up. Why don't they install lifts on these mountains? Well, it's like Everest. Why is there no lift? Why are they they must hate people. What country Everest is in, I don't know. I'm useless at geography. But they must hate people in that country. Otherwise, they would install a lift, wouldn't they? Why do they make people climb up these damn mountains? A series of labyrinth-like forest-covered ridges. It sounds delightful, doesn't it? In the mountainous Volcanoes National Park in Rwanda is where the majestic creature, of which there are only about 1,000 left in the wild, make their home suitably hidden from the dangers below. Around 400 gorillas, in around 10 groups led by males, flow freely between the Rwandan protected area and Uganda's National Gorilla Park. He said he traced the movements of the group he encountered and set his sights on the stunning animal that we see in the picture, which I can't show that to you because that would be copywritten, you see. I chose my spot, and then the alpha male came over and sat down just above me and looked straight at me. The most amazing thing was his left hand and enormous fingers. I would have been terrified, dear. Terrified. He said he took a lot of shots, but I immediately knew when I'd got the right one. Despite the beast having a full family of females and youngsters to protect and the obvious dangers that came with that, Yarrow said that it merely looked at me, scratched itself, and then got up and left. The same thing seems to happen to me in bars, funnily enough. You know, I'll sit down next to some sort, you know, try and chat him up, and then they just scratch their head, get up and walk off. Why is that? Why does that seem to happen? I don't know. Well, great thing, but just goes to show you, you need patience there. You've got to have patience. Absolutely. Good morning from Mazamau, who's in Pakistan. Good morning to you this morning, sir, watching on one of the Learn English website groups. Johnny Key knows all about guitars. He absolutely does. I do know people, they collect things. I think you could only have a couple of pianos in a house, unless you've got a big house, of course. You know, there are probably houses in this country with a piano in each room. Thank you. Vecthelion says that's one of the best guitar brands that exist, the one he was talking about. Most guitar legends have played and play on those guitars. I do like a bit of a guitar. You know that one in da 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 Eye of the Tiger, that one. And then there's so many good guitar solos. We heard a lot when my nephew and I went to Vegas last year. We went to a rock show. at the Hard Rock Cafe. It was fantastic. If you go to Vegas, go to the rock show at the Hard Rock Cafe. I have to tell you, though, that hotel is way off that main strip. You kind of, it's a bit of a long walk, and you don't want to do it at night, apparently. According to the locals, you shouldn't really walk that place at night. But you just get in a cab from your main hotel, which is probably on the main road there. And you come off that, and it's like, I suppose, probably about a 10-minute drive from the strip, but about a 30 to 40-minute walk. So it's a bit far off it. But you get into the hotel, and you go into the theatre. It's a small theatre there. And it's a rock show, and it's fantastic. And then at the end of the show, so they're all of an age. These old blokes on the stage, I would say they're all well over 60. Some of them in their 70s, some probably a bit older than that. And they're playing their instruments and singing, and it was fantastic. And then at the end of the show, they tell you these people, they were all members of big bands. One was, I can only remember one at the moment. He was the lead guitarist, I think, in Heart. La 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 la. There's another little song for Joanna there. You're having a wonderful time with my singing today, aren't you, Joanna? Perhaps we should just do one show that is just me singing. What do you think on that? Just a suggestion to you. Just a suggestion. Let's have a look. Dave Moses, good morning. He scratched himself. Dave runs a radio station. All these radio people, they watch this show because I can sit here and say anything I want, but they can't do that on their own stations. Terrible. Oh, restrict. Oh, might get a phone call from Ofcom. I'm so scared. Morning, Dave Moses. Scratched himself, then left. Where was he scratching, dear? Well, not on the right, on the left. I just told you. Pay full attention, Dave. Hope your station's going. Hebden Radio he runs, don't you? Hebden Radio. Thank you, Vecthelion. I can't say your name. 77,000 kilometres is 47845.57 miles. How many? 478,045.57 miles. That can't be. It can't be as much as that, surely. Ross Philip Vernon is with us this morning. Good morning to my friend, Ronnie Gardner. He's collecting his new car today. He's got a Mini. He's got a plug-in Mini coming. He's got nowhere to plug it in yet, though. He's got a plug-in Mini coming. Or we'll be able to plug it into at Waitrose, because they have electric car charging there. At Waitrose, yes. Morning to, just a minute, Chris, you don't make a good guitar either. Don't I? Let's try it again, especially for you, Joanna. No, it's not happening, is it? Maybe I'll find something that I'm good at, Joanna. I haven't yet. Clarissa, my friend Lorraine saw the same show last year while in Vegas. Did she like it as well? Oh, it's fantastic, and it's small. It's not a massive little. It's just a small theatre, and you felt connected to the band. There were some wonderful female singers as well. They were really good girl singers, and beautiful. Dressed like rock, like in leather and all that business. Yeah, fantastic show. Morning to Paul and Lou have appeared. Oh dear, what's the time now? We've been going for half an hour. Why are you always so late, dear, now? Don't tell me you're not getting the notifications. You're not paying full attention to your mobile phone equipment, are you? Pay attention, dear. Oh, dear. Ronnie's cat wasn't too well last night, Vuitton. That's the one that had the brain operation. You remember I told you about some weeks ago now. And Saturday night he fell down the stairs. Poor little thing. Last night... my mate found a little bit of cat blood somewhere, so he was concerned about the cat last night. He likes to sleep. So if my mate's got a dressing gown on, right, the cat likes to sleep there. So he sits there, and my mate puts the dress, and he literally likes to sleep and go there. Funny, aren't they, cats? Oh, we love cats. I told you I was selected by a cat on Saturday. When I left to go to work on Saturday, a cat was waiting outside my front door and came over to me. I was chosen by a cat. There's nothing better in this world than being chosen by a cat. And they do have to choose you. You cannot choose a cat. If you ever go and get a rescue cat, maybe you want to get a cat or something like that, you go to get a rescue cat, you just go and see all of them, and the one that comes to you is the one that belongs with you. You are chosen by a cat. My mate has been chosen by 4 cats. It's a Ralph Lauren dressing gown, is it? Is that the only reason? I'm sure if I went round there with my old Marks and Spencer's dressing gown, it would be quite happy to go under there as well, if you don't mind me saying so. Is that bird poo on your jacket? No, they're clouds, dear, like the old Thames Television logo. Da, 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 da. My friend Tom Edwards used to announce on there. Yes. Dave Moses, I'd worry that I'd have left the car plugged in and then have a trailing cable out my rear going up the M4. Those electric cars, one of the things that was suggested once, because the charging has always been it's still a real problem at the moment. I mean, I'd love an electric car. 10 years ago, I said, oh, my next car will be electric. I'm sure it will. And here we are, 3 cars later. I still haven't got an electric car. My problem is that where I live, okay, my garage is, number one, there's no road outside my house, okay? My car is parked in a garage, right? There is no electrical supply in the garage. There is a flat upstairs. My house is not far from the garage, but far enough that you can't trail a cable from my house to the garage. Besides, it would also have to cross a pavement twice and a road. Not a busy road, but nevertheless a road. So I don't know how I'm going to do this. So what are my options? Well, I was speaking to Adam the plumber. I don't know if he's with us today. He said you can get someone to dig up the path, lay the cable from your house to the garage like that. Now, I would imagine that's going to cost thousands of pounds to lay a cable from my house to the garage. Now, above my garage is someone's flat. So, presumably, if the electricity company I set up, I'd need an electrical point in there, they would put one in and tee it off from the electrical supply that's going up to the flat. Obviously not through their meter, but, you know, but that would be a new supply, okay? Which would involve you having another meter, therefore 2 standing charges, or at least that's what I'm assuming. So I don't know how I can do this. My mate's lucky. He can have a wire coming out of his house, and he isn't next to the road, but he's then got a fence and some like a grass, not really grass, but mud grass sort of area between these 2 narrow fences. So he can have a wire coming down his out of his back door, you know, through a hole in the wall, across the garden, presumably underneath the garden, or you could tack it up on the fence, out the garden, across the little bit of earth that no one walks down there, okay, along the back fence, and he could put a socket there, although that's not his fence, right? In fact, it's no one's fence. It's just a communal fence. Presumably, you could put a socket there, and he could plug into that. I can't do that. So I don't know what the answer is to that. Someone's told me to ring up the council. Apparently, they do advise you on this sort of thing, but I don't see how else I can do it. So, but that would be here. Even if I had it sorted here, you know, I spend half my week, not February and March, but come April, I'll be spending half my week up in Lincolnshire at my caravan. Now, caravans only have a 16 amp supply, which would be enough probably on its own, right? But have one electrical heater on, and that's 8 amps gone already, you see. That's just one heater. So it's a bit of a problem, really. I really, really would like an electric park car. I'd be prepared to pay more for an electric car, but I just don't see it's feasible for me to have one at the moment. I must ring the council and see what they say there. I know that there are certain car parks and that you can plug in your electric car and charge them there. But I don't want to sort of have to get in it. Oh, I need a car charge today, so then you have to drive to... I know Waitrose have got them. I don't want to have to drive to Waitrose just to plug in the car. You know what I mean? And then you've got to wait. You know, you don't plug it in and then 2 minutes later it's done. It is about half hour. On the other hand, half hour, 45 minutes, isn't a bad time to you can just go somewhere, plug it in, and then go and do stuff. That'd be all right. Half hour, 45 minutes. You know, you just have to change your life a little bit with that. But it's difficult to know how to do that. My friend Tom Edwards. Tom Edwards, you know Tom Edwards, Ronnie. Thames Television, ATV, Central Television, Look East. He's been on the telly. You must have seen him, Ronnie. Paul and Lou. Oh, it looks like you've been stood under a tree. I've been stood up many times. Many, many times. I gave up with dates years ago. Times I arranged something and then, I can't make it tonight. I gave up. Oh, just waste of time. And you knew they'd be cancelled before. You knew that, but you still, perhaps they'd turn up this time. No, cancelled at the last minute, as usual. Never mind. Michelle was chosen by her cats. Sadly, I've only one now, but they both chose me. They are. You've got to be chosen by a cat. You cannot choose a cat. I've told you before. Katie Ann was chosen by a black cat. Aren't black cats gorgeous? Stunning. When I had a lodger here, I'm going back here about 25 years. His name was Lewis. Nice bloke. He had a black cat. Oh, it was lovely. It was called Khan. Prince of Darkness. Khan. He was beautiful. Khan the cat. Lovely boy cat he was. Gary. Good morning, Gary Davidson. Morning. Mike Reese is in Portsmouth very, very late this morning. But welcome along to the show. Okay, welcome along to the show. Me and my mate popped in Aldi yesterday afternoon. Oh, that's an experience on a Sunday afternoon. Oh, Christ, it's packed in there on a Sunday afternoon. But anyway, we went in there for the specific reason to buy a cat mat. If you were watching the show last week, you may remember I said to you, Aldi, you know that they bring out a little leaflet. And they have these special things. Twice a week, they have new things come in. And this Sunday was advertised that we're going to have certain doormats coming in, one of which was a cat mat. Literally, it's like that, you know, that brown, hard, rough stuff. So it was that, but in the shape of a cat. And on the picture, it looked really good. So my mate wanted to get one, so I wanted to get a few bits in Aldi as well. So we went in there, and we found the cat mats. Oh, no, I'm afraid not. Bad quality. Very, very disappointing. Bad quality. It was really thin, and where in the picture it looked like it was the shape of a cat, the rubber bit underneath it was square. And what they'd done is impregnated. That's probably the wrong word. But they put this very, very, very small, the brown rough stuff that you wipe the dog dirt off your boots with. Oh, don't you hate that? You get it, and sometimes you don't notice it. You've gone for a walk, and you get back in the house, and you've still got your shoes on in the kitchen. And then you look at your shoe, and there it is on your shoe, and you've walked it all over your kitchen floor. Oh, I feel ill. I hate that smell. So this brown sharp stuff was very, very thin on it. Not good quality at all, I'm afraid. So we didn't buy one of those little cat mats, unfortunately. That's just how it is. Katie's black cat's name is Puss. Puss the cat. Here, pussy, pussy. Here, pussy, pussy. Come, daddy. Come to mummy. To do that, to talk to it. Come to mummy. Here, pussy, pussy. We love cats. We absolutely love cats. There, JP has converted that. I think you seem to be behind a lot of us, John. You seem to be way behind that. We were talking about that about 10 minutes ago. I think that sometimes happens on YouTube. You join the show where you think it's at the beginning, but actually we've been going for like 20 minutes. I think that happens sometimes, but that's okay. 47.84 miles. I did think that first calculation was a bit high from someone else. Michelle's got a lovely doormat with black cats from Long Acres. I did suggest that to him, actually. Going to Long Acres, but he's not keen on it in there. It is expensive in Long Acres, isn't it? We found a lovely little place, garden centre, actually, that we've been to a few. We didn't go last year, funnily enough, in Wokingham. I can't think what it's called now, but that's a nice little place. Although they look like they're getting bigger now. As well as the garden centre, you come into this, and it's hidden. The first time you go past this garden centre about 3 times before you can actually see it. It's kind of hidden. So coming from Bracknell along the main road, then you go to the main road to Wokingham, and then you turn right. You go past some new housing estates, which look like Legoland. Awful. Absolutely ghastly. So what was beautiful green fields they've built on, but they've done it like Legoland again, where every single house looks exactly the same. Awful. Absolutely ghastly. I just don't like it. I don't like those modern housing estates at all. I mean, my niece lives on one. My nephew lives on one. They love the houses. Maybe it's an old thing, you know, people for older. I like to go down the street and every house is different. I mean, where I live, you know, this is the same as all the other houses, although I have blinged it up outside. I have. I've blinged up my house outside. There's all sorts of stuff on the front wall of my house. I've got butterflies. I've got bees, little ceramic things and plastic things. Bees, butterflies. What else have I got there? Tiles, painted tiles all on the front of my house. I like to make it look a bit different. So boring having everything looking the same all the time. Diversity. Even the BBC says that. Diversity. That's what we need, dear. We need diversity. Michelle's grey and white cat is called Arthur the cat. Oh, Arthur. Da 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 da, between the moon and New York. It's for Joanna. City, I know it's crazy, but it's true. Dun, 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 dun. If you get lost between the moon and New York City. I might do that at the karaoke tonight. Arthur's theme. Do you like that one, Arthur's theme? It's quite a nice song, isn't it? Ronnie's cats are Louis and Vuitton, Ralph and Lauren. He's got 4 cats at the moment. This is likely to expand in the future, but his other half don't want any more cats. What would have to happen? What would have to happen is that I would have to pretend to buy him another cat, or 2 or 3 or 4, and give them to him as gifts. And then when the other half says to him, I told you I don't want any more cats. Ah, yeah, but they were a present from Chris. Don't tell him when I said that. That's what would have to happen. But cats do enter my mate's house randomly from the street. They just come. They're like attracted to my mate. Cats love Ronnie. They absolutely love Ronnie, cats, it's true. Arthur the Cats, that's a nice name, isn't it? Mike, the Isle of Desire is what I call the middle aisle in Aldi, where you pick things up you didn't even know you wanted. It's true. They've got an excellent selection of children's toys and books there at the moment, but it's just random, isn't it? It's the weirdest shop ever, Aldi. You got all the food, and then suddenly, in the middle of the aisle, drills and hammers and tools. Strange place. Good morning to John Aiken. Where have you been? Who is allergic to cats? That's okay, darling. You send the cats to me and Ronnie. We'll happily look after the cats for you. All right. Listen to Tommy. Who's Tommy Walsh? Who's he? Is he that racist bloke, Tommy Walsh, or is it? Who's? No, that's not. Is it? Who's the racist bloke? Tommy someone or other. He lost his Facebook account, didn't he, or something like that? I don't know. Clarissa says, I have Lockie and he's 10 years old. Lockie the cat. That's a good name for a cat as well, Lockie. Ronnie's got 4 cats that live there and 4 cats that just visit, so that's 8. I think cats get to know and they tell the other cats that, here, let's go around that house. We always get a meal over there, and they all line up. His neighbours get really pissed off, though. Because of course, you know, if cats are going to all get attracted there, you're going to get a bit more mess, aren't you? Oh, stop moaning. Just pick it up and put it in the bin and stop moaning, dear. I might go round and upset his neighbour. I might defecate on their garden tomorrow night when they're asleep. That's what I might do. Did I see Crufts last night? The winning dog looked like a broom. I think I know what you mean. Oh dear. Joanna didn't like that. Oh, is it because there was no music behind me? Did you want me to sing it with music behind me, Joanna? Because I can do that. Do anything here, dear. There's an entire orchestra standing by in the green room next door. Animals are a good judge of people. Well, yeah, but how comes cats come to me? Dogs absolutely hate me. Most dogs hate me, and I hate them as well, especially the big bastards like Alsatians and things like that. There was one actually the other day. I was walking to the swimming pool and I took a shortcut across this grass outside a place called Southfield Park, and I saw dogs, and they're miles away, and they see me and they come for me. this, and it was a tiny little, like a little Jack Russell, tiny little thing it was. And it's left its owner, who is now shouting to it, nope, it's coming straight for me. I thought, oh, here we go again. And I spotted that it was a small one. I'm not so bad with the small one. It's the Alsatians that worry me a bit. You know, Rottweilers, never a problem. Never had a problem with a Rottweiler. Bulldogs, no problem. It's the bloody Alsatians that are evil bastards. Evil. Anyway, this Jack Russell decides it doesn't like me. It's come running across from one side of the field to the other. Owner shouting at him, who also had a poodle. I mean, what's the point of a poodle? Poodle. He had a poodle. The poodle, not bothered. It's just looking up. What's all this about? Jack Russell is running. And this little thing is standing in front of him. And I'm looking at it. Come on then. What you going to do? Come on. What are you going to do? I want to. What would happen if I barked really loudly at the dog? What would happen then, do you think? I've got to try that, haven't I? I've got to try that and see what happens. I downloaded this app, actually. Oh, I haven't done my text messages. Hang on a minute. Good morning to Maureen, who's with us this morning. Maureen! Good morning, Maureen. Sorry, I made you wait for that. 43 minutes ago she sent that. Sorry, Maureen. I completely forgot to look at our texting service, as provided by the Vodafone network, that one. Yes, I'd like to see what happens if I barks loudly at a dog. There's another text here. Oh, it's from young Simon Keane. We were talking about how the X Factor and that are made yesterday, weren't we? You know, when you see the pictures of the judges' faces and they go like that. That's not necessarily done when they're watching the act. They do all those faces at the end and edit them all in so that it looks like it is, but it's not really, you see. Simon Keane, good morning, Simon, who says, been to the cutting, reference to the cutting and editing altogether now. Been happening years. My mum worked at Caravale Films in Cornwallis Road, Maidenhead, in the 70s. She used to edit the Peter Cushing Hammer House horror films. Oh, I love that. My favourite Hammer House film is right at the end when he's got his dead wife in a boat and they go sailing down a canal which is underneath, which is underground. That's my favourite one. Dr. Phibes. It's either Dr. Phibes or Dr. Phibes Rises Again. He's playing this massive organ in like this old house. That's a great film. That is very, very old. Highly recommended horror film. Peter Cushing, Dr. Phibes Rises Again. That's a great film, that is. She said Benny Hill used canned laughter for his shows. Yeah, I think we noticed that, actually, to be honest. Okay. Morning to the lovely Maureen. There's Maureen there. Nice to see her this morning. Okay, hope you're coming along to the karaoke tonight, Maureen. All right, darling. Let's go there. Tommy Walsh was on Ground Force with Tiz Marsh and Big Jugs Charlie Dimmock. You were on about DIY. I don't know Tommy Walsh. Don't know that name, I'm afraid. Sorry. Where are we now? The other half wants a bald cat, but I think they are ugly. Bald cats, yes, for people who have got problems with fur and that. Oh, they're not ugly. No animals are ugly, darling. It's just the people that own them. You've only got to look at them. We haven't done our Gemma Collins news. Here's the Gemma Collins news this morning, boys and girls. I know some of you are Gemma Collins fans. She is reportedly now being lined up for Celebrity X Factor. Now, what song do you think she's going to sing on that? My money is on a power ballad, and my money is on I Will Always Love You. And I will always love you. That's where my money is. The Gemma Collins X Factor show. Oh, God, it just goes on and on, doesn't it? But then she can storm off and say, you know, I'm an effing star, I am. The former TOWIE star brought in millions of extra viewers, as indeed she did, for Dancing on Ice, with her diva antics and TV chiefs, thinking she could do the same for the X Factor, because they're a bit desperate now as well. A source for the show told the Daily Star, we want big and exciting stars. Well, that's just cruel. That's just being cruel. Big and big. We want big and exciting stars. Well, she's big. Exciting star, certainly not. She's big, so they got one of those three. We want big and exciting stars, and the GC is popular. Yeah, because it's a freak show. I keep telling people that. You know how popular freak shows were years ago? You know, we wouldn't see it now, and we wouldn't want to see it. Taking the piss out of people with one eye or one arm or something like that. It's not on. It's horrible. But we've got Gemma Collins instead. It's a freak show. They choose people that are completely useless and talentless, not because of the talent, because there is none, because they know people want to look and laugh and criticise, like me. That's why Gemma Collins is on there, because it's a freak show. More importantly, she can sing. Really? Oh, well, I can't comment. I haven't heard Gemma Collins sing yet. What I can tell you, there is an awful lot of people over the years who have been in charts who can't sing a bloody note. There are very, very clever DJs and sound engineers who can make anyone sing. Even me. I'm considering actually myself sending off a song to my very good friend Andy Wetson, who used to work for Almighty Records, remixing certain stars who will remain nameless, who couldn't sing a note. I never forget, he rang me up once and he was saying, I have just had the worst lot of vocals sent to me and I've got to put them into it. I could so much tell you who the person is. And I can't. I don't dare tell you. But this person was very popular at some point, okay? This person is on the television now. I'm not going to tell you. But her vocals were sent to my friend who had to mix it into a song. And it sounded good on the record. But he said they were the worst vocals that he'd ever been sent. Not a single note in tune. So you don't have to be. This is the thing. It's just so. I hate fake. I hate fakeness. I just hate fakeness. The story goes on in The Sun this morning. Simon has handled many divas over the years, with the likes of Sharon Osbourne. Oh, I like Sharon Osbourne, you see. What you see is what you get. You see what I mean? I don't think there's any pretense with Sharon Osbourne. And Mel B. So we reckon he will be able to deal with this Essex one. Last year, Gemma showed off her surprise singing talents on the BBC's All Together Now. Oh, I didn't see that. Must have missed that. See, I don't know about that show All Together Now. I can't make up my mind whether I like that or not. She performed Big Spender by Dame Shirley Bassey for the audience and celebrity judges. Jerry Horner. Who's Jerry Horner? Told her you. Oh, is that Jerry as in Jerry from Spice? It's Jerry's from Spice Girls. Has she changed her name? Was it always Jerry Horner? It was Jerry Halliwell. When did she change? Did she get remarried? That's how much notice I take of these Z-list celebrities. You see, Jerry Horner told her you were amazing. Gemma said on the show, I wanted to have fun and leave people with a smile on their face. Yeah, you always leave people with a smile on their faces, Gemma, darling. They're laughing at you. They're laughing at you, so you carry on doing what you're doing because we love laughing at you. Not with you, lovey, at you. The Dancing on Year lost 3 million viewers when Gemma was eliminated from the competition, so her inclusion into the celebrity version of The X Factor could see the ratings surge. She's got to do a power ballad, hasn't she? I bet she'd do And I Will Always Love You. Dreadful. Oh, Michelle sent me in a picture of her cat. Oh, that's so much better than looking at a picture of Gemma Collins. It really is. A little black and white thing. How lovely. We do like cats. We do like cats. Back to your messages then. The whole of the cast of TOWIE are thick. Well, they are. They are. Now, there's another story about people that have been on TOWIE, and that is Billy Fires. Is that what's her name? Billy Fires. Now, she's one of them on there. Another one with no talent whatsoever. Famous for being famous with no talent. Anyway, she just got married. As Billy Fires and Greg Shepherd. Anyone? Nope. Don't know who he is. Shared pictures pictures of their extravagant wedding in a glossy magazine. A couple who spent their trip enjoying holiday alongside a 100-strong entourage have revealed a very different side of events. So what happens? They probably had all that paid. What happens is a lot of these magazines, OK Magazine and all the rest of them, they find out someone's going to get married or something, or maybe these people go to them. So we're going to get married. Okay, well, we want to come and photograph. We'll pay for everything, but we need to be there and photograph everything. That's how it works. So she probably didn't have to pay for this, right? Speaking to the Daily Mirror, the couple said their 12,000 trip to the Maldives, which took them, my mate's been there, the Maldives, took them more than 2 years to save for. Oh, well, it says they saved for it, maybe I'm wrong there, was ruined by drunken yobbo guests of the newlyweds. Well, why would you invite people like that to your wedding? You must know what they're like before they go. You do see a very different side of people when they get to weddings and funerals. Fights and everything, dear. Ghastly people. Ghastly. Just days into the trip, the British holidaymakers, who wish to remain anonymous, why are they being anonymous? If they've chucked rubbish and stuff everywhere, name them, dear. It's not like they're teenagers under the age of, is it 16 or 18? They can't be named. These are adults, dear, or they claim to be adults. Just days into the trip, they came face to face with the Essex crowd on the ideal island of Kuramathi. Oh, were these guests or not? Were these guests or not? Just days into the trip, British holidaymakers came face to face with the Essex crowd. Oh, I don't know. The grandparents. Oh yeah, I see what's happening here. So these are another group of people who were on a quiet holiday and bumped into this lot from The Only Way is Essex. The grandparents told the Mirror how certain members of the group flouted the rules of the five-star beach resort by dining at luxury restaurants in their swimwear, turning up for dinner in a pair of shorts. Have you got no idea how to act? Leaving dirty nappies on the beach and getting drunk and rowdy at the all-inclusive bar. I'm so glad I wasn't invited. So glad I wasn't invited. Why can't people take their rubbish home with them? Disgusting people leaving dirty nappies all over the beach. Recalling their first encounter with the Essex crowd, that's unfair to call it the Essex crowd. The Only Way is Essex crowd. Okay, the grandmother told how she ran into reality star Billy, her sister Sam, Fern McCann, I don't know any of these people, and other members of the hen party at the beach bar. We heard them before we saw them, she said. They were screaming and shouting. You know what sort of these people these are? These are the sort of people you get in Aldi. I'm sorry, they are. They were screaming and shouting. The noise was awful. We have been told to dress appropriately in the restaurants and bar areas, but these girls were paraded round in bikinis and G-strings. Oh, I bet they hadn't had a shave down there either. Oh, no, dear. Ghastly people. You never see these sort of people at afternoon teas. Absolutely not, dear. As more guests arrived, the couple said their dream holiday quickly went from bad to worse. And there's various pictures in there. What do they look like, dear? Claiming the wedding party brought Ibiza to the Maldives. They said, one night we treated ourselves to a night at the champagne bar, but all we could hear were men from Greg's group screaming and shouting in the room before us. Members of staff would dread them coming in. When they left, the whole island breathed a sigh of relief. Isn't it awful? The couple told how the enormous wedding took over the resort, with some areas said to be cordoned off altogether for ITV-BE filming. It's disgusting. Why should people who have been booked on they're not cheap holidays. We're not talking like the holidays I go on, £250 for a caravan for a week. These are thousands of pounds, these holidays. Why should people have to put up with that, eh? We had to book ourselves into the restaurants days in advance, said the holidaymakers, because there were so many of them. They had to be split into smaller groups to eat, so there was never any escape. And there's pictures, oh, there they are, with the tits out and everything. Oh, for God's screaming their heads off. One night we went to an Indian restaurant and about 20 of them showed up and ordered 40 meals between them. Then they complained to staff that it didn't taste like the food back at home. Oh, God. The couple also told how the wedding guests enjoyed making full use of the all-inclusive bar. I bet they did. Oh, I bet they did. They didn't have to pay for any of the drinks and cocktails, and they abused it. Well, oh, you see some of those sort of people in the business lounge sometimes in the airport, getting pissed up in the lounges. Disgusting. Just because you've paid for it all doesn't mean you have to drink the entire bloody bar. We also saw them leave dirty nappies on the beach, discard their rubbish and have loud water fights. One morning we were looking at some sharks after breakfast and some of them started throwing stones at them. Awful. Just awful. So that's a wedding of, let me see that again. Who is it again? Billy Fayers and Greg Shepherd. I've never heard of Greg Shepherd. I recognise the name Billy, what's her name again? Fires. Fires. That's her name. I think that's how you say it. Billy I recognise her name. Because I did watch The Only Way is Essex when it first came on the telly. Just to see what it was like. I didn't stay very long. About a couple of episodes and that was about it. Good morning to Tomye Durkin. Good morning, lovely Tommy, this morning. He's there, one of my old Black Cat customers. He was there much longer than I was. He's lovely. Do you know my best memory of you, Tommy? My best memory of you. I was DJing. This has got to be 25 years ago. It was a Saturday night, and you were standing where you usually stand. That is on the door next to the DJ box on the left, against the wall, having a little bit of a jig like that, right? And then you go through the doors, up a couple of stairs, men's toilets. On the left, ladies' toilets. Right? So you're at that door where you always stood there with little Ron. He's no longer with us, is he? Ronnie, I think, was there with you as well. I can see it. Now, just a minute now. Let me see who else is with you. There was Ronnie. There was you. Any of the girls there? I can't see any girls. Oh, maybe Shahid. Maybe Shahid was there. He's a lovely bloke as well. Possibly Richard as well. I don't know if you knew Richard or not. He went to India and died. He was a lovely man, Richard. Such a nice man. And he was so excited about this holiday to India. And he went there and got like a cholera or something like that and died in India, Richard. We never saw him again. I never forget Shahid telling me that. Have you heard? I've heard that Richard's died. I don't know if it's true or not. And then we never saw him again. Couldn't believe it. I don't know. Anyway, the memory I have of you, the best memory I have of you, is looking down. You're right, Tommy. And all of a sudden, someone, it was a boy. He came running through. He came running through the crowd with two hands over his mouth like that. And it was sick coming through two of his fingers. And you jumped onto the stage, onto the two steps that led up to the DJ books, looking absolutely terrified about this sick which was about to explode from his bloke's hands. The horrified look on your face. Oh, we could tell you some wonderful stories from Black Cat where I worked. Oh my God, what happy times they were. Good morning to Jeffrey Decker joining us this morning. John, did you hear that Paul O'Grady's friend Joyce, who was the tea lady on his show, passed away? She was lovely and very funny. Do you know, I don't know who that is. I don't know who Joyce is. I didn't really watch Paul O'Grady. I did watch it a couple of times, which I thought was an excellent show. The Paul O'Grady show, very friendly. That's what it's all about, friendly, very friendly and nice. And I remember the dog. I don't remember Joyce. I only watched a couple of his shows, basically because they were the wrong time of the day for me. Usually about 5 in the afternoon, I'm asleep. You know, I have a couple of hours sleep in the afternoon, my siesta. Brilliant film is The Devil Rides Out. That's another horror film. Thank you very much, Clarissa. Tommy, by the way, watching your video about all the thousands of people you have met in a black cab over the years, no one apart from one friend has bothered to keep in touch with you. May I say, I will always be here for you. Isn't that nice? Be here for me. I'm trying to think of a song that could go there, but I can't. Maybe I will later on. Michael owns four poodles. I do prefer dogs over cats. I own a cat trap. The neighbourhood knows what happens when cats come onto my property. No return, no returns. Yes, no regrets. La, 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 la. That one. No, it's not the right song, is it? Thank you. Dr. Phibes rises again. Brilliant film, but my favourite is The Devil Rides Out, said Gustav. Yes, Jack Russell's. Jack Russell. Little things. Don't get too close to them. They can have your eye out, those Jack Russells. Dangerous. Little dogs are vicious, says John. Yes, true. Bad poodle. Gustav says, I'm surprised dogs hate you. You've been seen with one too many on your arm. When? What year was that? There's been no one on my arm for years now. Years. Don't grab my arm either, Gustav. Good. All right, now we better do today's birthdays, boys and girls. A little bit overrun today, and I need to get down that swimming pool. The old bags finish at 11 o'clock, and then I like to get in there and do my swimming. So today's birthdays, aha! Someone who I've worked with on a few occasions, both in the Black Cap and a lovely place in Coventry called Rainbows. Terry Limmer. Good morning, Terry. You wonderful, wonderful man. You and your other half were always so kind to me. Terry, and I never forget the time you was on the front door of the Black Cap, and I got the phone call that my mother was passing away, and I had to leave the pub, and you were fine with that. Okay, just go. And you said to me, what do we do? I said, don't worry, there's a tape in the machine. It will last 2 hours. And I just left. Unfortunately, I didn't make it to the hospital before my mum passed away, but I have a feeling she wanted that anyway. She didn't want anyone there when she passed away. But happy birthday, Terry. 55 years old today. Happy birthday, Terry. Deanna. Oh, one of our delightful Manilow girls. Good morning, Deanna. She too is, she's the same age as me today. 56 years old today. Good morning, Deanna. Now, I don't know why people worry so much about their blooming ages all the time. I don't want to tell anyone their age. Some of them hide it on Facebook. I can understand you hiding it from dating apps, but Facebook, please. 56 years old today, Deanna Bell. Good morning. Happy birthday, Deanna. Peter Marr, good morning to you in Hemel Hempstead. Good morning, Peter. Happy birthday to you, sir. Hope things are going all right for you. Wayne Russell, good morning, Wayne. I did his wedding down in Putney years and years ago. Not that long ago, probably about 5 years ago now, 5 or 6 years ago now. That was on the river. Starangata. Was it Starangata? I think your wedding was. Up the stairs, wasn't it? Happy birthday to you, Wayne. He also turned up. I did a very short-lived quiz night, actually, in Coulsdon. A pub in Coulsdon, but it didn't really work. No one turned up. We did it for about 4 weeks. Just didn't work. That was I think it was on a Monday night, actually. Yeah, it was about 5 years ago on a Monday night. Just never worked. I think there was one group that came every week, but it just didn't build at all. So we got kicked out of that one. So just how it goes. He turned up for one of those. Good morning, Wayne. Happy birthday. David Snow. Nice picture, David, of you in that muscly white vest. And who knows, you may go down the gym and have some muscles to go with the vest as well. Good morning, David. Happy birthday. Makkat Spice Radio is 42 years old today. Good morning, Makkat. Harry Barker is 61 today on this Monday, the 11th of March. Vybornova Christina is a young 35 years old today. Happy birthday, miss. Michael Wood, 44 today. Michael Lee Darrington. Lovely picture there, Michael. Good morning. Happy birthday to you. Pearly Monsoon. She was a big-time DJ as well. Just like me, weren't you, Pearl? She did more hard house music than I did, more pop stuff. She did house stuff at the time. So happy birthday to you, lovely Pearly Monsoon. David Machette. Good morning, David. Happy birthday to you. And Dave Moses. So that's why you are there today, Dave. To get your birthday song. 33 years old today. I don't understand it, Dave. How is it that someone of my age of 56 still looks young, and yet you at 33? You must have had a hard life, darling. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, happy birthday, happy birthday to you. My sister's on there. That's Sharon Butler. Good morning, sis. She's got 2 lovely dogs, Bison and Barney. Bison is a massive rock head like that, and he will lick you to death. Good morning, sis. Tommy, I remember having to cut you out of your Calvin Klein's Behind the DJ books using a lighter, and then we went to trade. Were they too tight on me? I can't remember why. What was all that about? And he soiled himself again. Oh dear. Good. Yeah, see, Vecthillian knows. He knows that Joanna actually likes my singing. I'm sure that is the case. And if you want to hear me sing, and many others tonight, join us tonight for our big karaoke night at Central Station Bar in Wharfdale Road, King's Cross. That's our karaoke tonight, gang. It's each and every Monday. Starts at 7:30 and goes through to 11 o'clock on a Monday night. It's cheap drinks as well. So if you're joining us tonight, it won't cost you an arm and a leg as well. Okay, so Monday night karaoke tonight, starting at 7:30 at Central Station Bar, 37 Wharfdale Road, King's Cross, London, N19SD for your sat-navs. All right? Thanks ever so much for joining us on the show this morning. Now, tomorrow, is it tomorrow? I've got cars. Oh, excuse me, I've got hiccups. I got car service. Oh, I got to take my driving license tomorrow. What's that for then? Oh, that'd be for the alternate. What's that alternative car? You know when they give you a courtesy car. That'd be. Got to take my driving license in tomorrow. So tomorrow we got a car service. So 9:30, 10. Yeah, it should be all right. Should be a show for you tomorrow morning. Okay, I'm sure I can fit one in tomorrow. Thanks ever so much for joining us on the show today, boys and girls. It's a beautiful day outside. I'm going to have a little walk up to the swimming pool now. And I shall be thinking of you while I'm walking up there. Either that or listening to some music. Have a nice day. Bye-bye now.